Do you ever get tired of playing it?
Oh, yeah. You thought I lived on a cloud. I like being this age and this skill level because it requires less work.
Yeah.
Because I put in so many hours in my life.
Sure.
And also, it still requires, practice. And it requires a lot of muscle strength and coordination that you just simply won't have if you don't practice it. And sometimes I think maybe a huge part of the creativity of playing an instrument is the repetition. You have the same set of notes that you always do, and how can you practice creatively when you're still stuck with the same thing?
Using the same thing.
The same over and over and over,
Yeah.
right? It requires a lot of mental attention. But yeah, sometimes I'm like, I'm tired of thinking so hard. And sometimes you can find ways around that where you're just, for example, practicing the physical skill in a state of calm while you're thinking about something else. Yeah, it's possible.
You write your own music too?
I do.
What's that like? How do you start?
I don't know if I really consider myself a composer. I think I don't. That started with with getting a loop station, which allowed me to play something and then it would play back because I could record it and I could play along with myself, and that's so much more vastly interesting than just playing by myself. So that's how that started. It started with playing rhythms and scales, and it's more entertaining to play with a rhythm track to practice your scales. That's how that started. And now that I've done it for a really long time, working with a looper is it requires me to think. I don't even know how to describe this. I'm going to take a step back and say one of my fields of expertise is Baroque music, and Baroque music is really highly harmonically structured and rhythmically structured. And the harmonic structure of Baroque music I use a lot. With a looper, I just use really basic chord progressions or chord progressions, but that's been a subject of my interest for many years. And I try to figure out how to make chord progressions and then how to make melodies. I'm much better at chord progressions and I'm much worse at melodies. So sometimes the creative process for me is I try to find a way to make something interesting with a machine that simply repeats what I do. And that's actually really a fun endeavor. Like, if I make a melody, can I then, after I'm done with the melody, can I make a harmony that fits well? Something like that. So it becomes kind of just doing a bass line ends up being quite boring on a looper. So that's how my process starts, maybe. Yeah.